नहीं हमको बच्चा को बुला रहे हैं। हाँ? बुला बुला बुला।
Good morning, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, no problem. Morning, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Mr. Ranjan, these are money police and administration. Please come.
Good morning, dear cadets. It's indeed a matter of proud privilege for all of us to meet today. Sir, it's a language that we have to train the boys, not only in this language, but also in Hindi. I think we train the boys in this language, particularly in the pronunciation, and of course, we include them or command of this language. And this shows the importance of this teacher. This is case का हमने consider किया है
So may I now, first of all, on behalf of Sainik fraternity, welcome you all at this auspicious opening ceremony of the East Zone Sports and Co-Curricular Activities Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, the next contingent Sainik School Golpara. Sainik School Golpara came into existence on 12 November 1964. Initially, the school was located in the Golpara town and then it shifted to its present location in the year 1976. And the last contingent, but not the least, is the Sainik School in Fal. Sainik School in Fal was established on 7th October 1971 near Tulipur Airport and 3 years later relocated to this present location. This school caters to the needs of 5 northeastern states, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura and Arunachal Pradesh, besides friendly neighboring country, Royal Bhutan. Sainik School in Fal has limited facilities for a few important games and sports. In spite of the limited resources and infrastructures in the field of games and sports, the school has produced many outstanding sports persons. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the 3 teams Sainik School Puru. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Chief Guest of today's program, Shri L. Jayanta Kumar Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Transport and Agriculture, Government of Manipur, Honorable President of this function, Shri Bhatt, distinguished guests, participating teams and their in charges, members of electronic and the print media, sports lovers of Manipur, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it as a matter of great privilege and honor for me to extend you all a very, very warm and a hearty welcome on behalf of Sainik School fraternity, comprising the staff, the parents and the cadets of the school on the auspicious occasion of the inaugural ceremony. It's indeed a proud privilege and a rare honor bestowed upon the Sainik School in Fall by the Sainik School Society, Ministry of Defence, New Delhi, to organize this event in Sainik School in Fall for the first time ever its inception in 1971. At the very outset, I would like to extend my deep gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri L. Jayanta Kumar Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Transport and Agriculture, and the President, Shri Y. Surchandra Singh, Honorable MLA, for sparing their valuable time and to be with our cadets and all of us on this momentous occasion. I also extend my warmest welcome and deep gratitude to other distinguished guests for their august presence on this occasion. We are immensely indebted and grateful to each one of you for being with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest needs no introduction. He is a very popular figure in Manipur. Before joining politics and making his mark by being an MLA and an honorable minister in the Manipur government on the earlier occasions also, Shri L. Jayanta Kumar Singh, MA LLB, was in the cadre of Manipur Judicial Services and was a Chief Judicial Magistrate. We can form an idea about his competence, brilliance and administrative acumen from the fact that he is holding a very high profile portfolio, not of education but also of transport and sericulture. Sir, as you were so gracious enough to accept our request to be with our cadets today this morning and influence for the benefit of Sainik, to have you also, sir, with us on this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, Sainik schools are divided into 5 zones, that is north, south, east, west and central, for sporting activities and the co-curricular activities. Every year, the zone-wise competitions are conducted and the teams winning at the zones then go for the interzonal championships, which are decided, venue for which is decided by the Sainik School Society. The teams representing East Zone today are Golpara, Purulia and Imphal. Another Sainik school which has come up in the northeast is Sainik School Pungalwa, but this school could not join today's championships, being the infant school and having its own teething problems. Hopefully by next year the school will form part of the contingents and will participate in the activities. It's a very well known fact that the people of Manipur are fond of games and sports, and many international players, they come from this wonderful state. I feel proud to inform this august gathering that Sainik School in Fall has carved a niche for itself in the field of sporting activities, and our sub-junior and the junior teams, they have been champions for the many years in the events like football. And whenever my team goes for any CBSE cluster championships, or they go for Assam Valley East Zone Public School Championships, they are always the winners. So that's the kind of proficiency the boys of Sainik School in Fall have got in the field of sports. As this event unfolds in few moments from now, with the blessings of our honorable chief guest, I once again, with deep sense of gratitude, extend my warm welcome to our honorable chief guest, honorable president of the function, distinguished guests, staff and cadets of the participating schools, members of the mass media, other invitees, and all the cadets. I wish you all a very happy stay out here, and I'm sure you are going to perform in the true spirit of the sports and you will bring laurels to your own school. Now may I request the cadets of the Sainik School in Fall to join me in giving a huge round of applause to all our guests, to welcome them in our own typical style. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Thank you very much. Most welcome to each one of you. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
In the name of all competitors, I promise that we shall take part in this East Zone Sainik schools sports and co-curricular activities championship respecting and abiding by rules and regulations which govern them. The true spirit of sportsmanship for the glory of sport and honor of our country. Jai!
opening ceremony.
Parents of the students coming here and my dear students from all Sainik schools. It is really a pleasure for me to address you because I have had occasions to associate with the Sainik schools for the last 15 years. In fact, when I was the director of planning, it is this composite hall or whatever they call indoor stadium was built with the assistance I managed from the planning department. So I have been helping this school since when I was the director of planning. Those days, the one Mr. Sardarji was the principal of this school. And I have been trying to help from all possible. When I was at DC in Park East, I also tried to help the build up this school and also demarcate the land because it has such a beautiful land and having so many acres, I think, which hardly any Sainik school in the Northeast or in any part of the country has. We are really proud that the Sainik school, the pass percentage was mostly 100%, that too mostly in the first class. Only in the NDA, the outcome may not be that excellent because many of the passing out the 12th class used to opt for other options. That is because sometimes may feel that he preferred to join the civil the courses rather than army. Otherwise, in the NDA also, I think if everybody joins with wholeheartedly, I think the pass percentage for output in the NDA also will be extremely high. In the sports, arts and culture, I think this is this Sainik school in part is the best in the country. Northeast as a whole, Eastern Zone as a whole, dominant in the sports of the country, and within the Northeast, it is the Imphal or Manipur, it is dominating in the sports. In population, we are having a population of only 23 now in the entire state, which is less than any city of the country. Think of the Lucknow, think of the Delhi, think of the Allahabad, think of the Agra. It is much more than bigger than the entire state of Manipur. But in the sports, they stand nowhere. In the last national games held in Guwahati, we were first among the states. Services, which is a combination of all states, were on the top. Otherwise, among the states, Manipur with 51 goals, top among the states. If we count Manipuris competing from other states, including Assam and the services, we got 81 goals, which is almost nearly 1/3 of the country's goal in the national games. We have produced more than 200 international players representing the country from such a small state. Therefore, I claim on this, in the culture, if any dance troupe is sent outside the country, a Manipuri dance troupe is there. It is culture which introduced Manipur throughout the world. It is sports which introduced Manipur throughout India. So I sometimes claim that Bombay may be financial capital, Delhi may be capital for political or capital for administration, but Manipur is capital for arts and culture, for sports. It is the capital of the India. So we should really be proud being born and brought up here in Manipur. The entire Northeast also should be proud, Manipur being part of the Northeast. I feel that now we, in such a situation, schools like Sainik schools, we should, from all possible helps, we should encourage. We are facing a lot of problems. Today Manipur is full of the problems. The most abundant in Manipur is burn and blockade. So many dharnas, blockade, burn, because I as a DC, Park East and West, faced many about this burn, blockade. I have never experienced any week without a burn or blockade. So in such a situation, all the other schools suffer from such burn, blockade. But it is only the Sainik school which is not affected by this burns and blockade. And we are giving the best education with the cheapest cost. You see any public school in Delhi, it is costing almost 20,000. 20,000 per month, almost. I do not find any public school which is costing less than 10,000 per month. even in Assam, this Assam Valley School, Parliament, the course is about 2 lakh. My daughter is there. I've been trying in Delhi because I know about the Delhi also because I was doing my MPhil PhD in Delhi. Since then, I used to go in Delhi and I know about the schools. I was a student leader in 1974. Those days I was doing PhD in economics in Delhi. I was Masa president. So I used to go for admission here and there. So I know all the schools in Delhi. With the type of facilities, the amount they are charging is something which the government cannot afford. So schools like Sainik school, schools like Navodaya, where the very persons, even if from a poor family, can put. From the government side, since I'm also in the ruling party, but Honorable Minister is there, the scholarship granted to students from Manipur is not comparable with those granted by other states, like neighboring states, Assam or Nagaland, Manipur. Even for the ones who were sent to this Rashtriya Indian Military College. My son was in the Rashtriya Indian Military College, long back. He's now engineer, of course, working in Tata company. So I used those days also when I was director planning for this increase of the scholarship, not only for the Sainik school, for the students who get admission in the Rashtriya Indian Military College. Generally, in a year, only one used to get in the Rashtriya Indian Military College from Manipur. It is built up, the Sainik school is built up in the line of the Rashtriya Indian Military College. Of course, that is excellent. The grant given by the Ministry of Defense is, I think, per student must be per month, maybe around 15 to 20,000. For that school, which has 25 students in a class, President of India, as a commander-in-chief of the country, used to visit. Chief of the army used to visit. I feel that we should invite, if not the President of India, at least a Chief of the army to this, because we have very few Sainik schools in the whole country. So we should sometimes invite Chief of the army or Eastern Command to this Sainik school and let them see all the facilities we have. Let them see the output we have met with the type of the facilities we have. From the Ministry of Defense also, through this society, there is a Sainik school society. Through the society, let the grant and the facilities be increased. From the government side, there was the 11th Finance Commission used to provide computers, but since 11th Finance said that is closed, there some schools were given about 15 to 30 computers. NEC, I think once I have managed to provide computer from the Northern Council when I was director of planning, if my memory is correct. But still we can approach the Northern Council for providing computers and other facilities. In the donor ministry, which earmark, defense ministry, which earmark, there is an instruction, decision of the government to earmark 10% of the entire budgetary provision for the Northeast. Therefore, in the defense budget, in the Sainik school budget, we should claim that at least minimum 10% should go to the Sainik schools of the Northeast. How many Sainik schools in the Northeast? Only 2. Kolpura and Manipur. Now one more is coming up in Nagaland. With that, it may be 3. But if 10% is earmarked, I think we will get a huge fund. So that approach, that decision of the government, it should be applicable for the Sainik school also and for the defense also. So now we can approach for larger fund. You see this small hall. Now we cannot gather all the students and the parents in this small hall. It is not fit. Therefore, we should think of a larger hall having a capacity, sitting capacity of something like 1,000 or 2,000. That we can think of, we can send a project proposal to the donor also, Department of Northeastern Region. A project can be prepared and sent to the donor. Lastly, I appeal to my students, you make your best effort, you make without, games or sports, any play, one has to be the victory, one has to be the, some runners-up, or he has to, get defeated by other. It hardly matters. The important is the spirit of sportsmanship. The important is the discipline we have. The important is the collective effort we have. That is the most important. Extracurricular activities is also coming up. The music they played is excellent. I've seen some dance performance long time back, but nowadays the last few years I have not been able to have a chance to get such an opportunity to see any dance performance. If you require some assistance about the dance, the music from the art and the culture department, you can approach me or my missus, because my missus is the director arts and culture. So I will influence her, being he's my better half. So I will try to send some the good musicians or good. They have 2-3 colleges, music colleges. Some they call gurus. On contract basis, if not on contract basis, sometimes for some show, sometimes for some 1 week courses. That kind of help also can be extended from the arts and the culture. For sports, you can approach the SHI or the sports department. They will continue to help, and we will also impress upon them to help this Sainik school. So with these few words, I wish a good and very successful the sports and the core curricular meet this year. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable words. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may I request Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, Sri L. Jayantakumar Singh, to please speak few words in relation with today's occasion and to declare the meet open. Sir, please.
I am indeed lucky enough to the chief guest of such a inaugural ceremony of East Zone Secondary School Sports and Co-Curricular Activities Championship 2007-8. And I am also very happy to be among such a precious souls, because you people are but the pillars of this great nation. My Sheda leader have already spelled out the things which I really wanted to say. So I will cut my address short. Today I am having some announcements to them also. Number one, rupees 2 crore has been sanctioned for infrastructure development of Sainik school. And one more thing is, recently I had a good discussion with the Honorable Chief Minister, and I can assure you that the amount of scholarship being enjoyed by the students of Sainik School Fund will definitely be met. To conclude with, I too hope Sainik schools in India, particularly the Sainik schools in the Northeast, will produce competent personalities to serve this great nation, India. Lastly, I wish the Sainik Schooling Fund to continue to be on the top. Best luck to all of you. Be fair and be bold enough. Thank you. Today, the 28th July 2007, I, Sri L. Jayantakumar Singh, Minister in charge of Education, Culture and Transport, declared the East Zone Secondary Schools Sports and Co-Curricular Activity Championship 2007-8 open.
Of the school. Now, may I request Lieutenant Colonel Rajiv Shukla, Headmaster, Sainik School Imphal, to please propose the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
morning, one and all. On behalf of Sainik School Imphal fraternity, I extend our heartfelt thanks and sincere gratitude to Sri L. Jayant Kumar Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Transport, Sericulture, Government of Manipur, who had magnanimously accepted our invitation to be chief guest at the inaugural ceremony of the East Zone Sainik School Sports and Co-Curricular Activities Championship. It is indeed very kind of you, sir, to have spared your valuable time to grace this occasion by your benign presence. In spite of your extremely busy schedule in the state affairs, I also take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to Sri Vai Surchand Singh, Honorable MLA of Kakchan Kendra, for sparing his valuable time to be present amidst us as President of the function. My sincere thanks are also due to the Director of Manipur Police Training School, Pangay, who had generously provided the services of his sports official to act as referees during the championship. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our brothers from the print and the electronic media who have diligently accepted our invitation for the media coverage of the event. My profound thanks are also due to the distinguished guests and dignitaries who have graced this occasion by their august presence. I also take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to the members of the participating teams and team members. Hope that they will extend full cooperation to organize this championship successfully. Last but not the least, my sincere thanks to the staff and the cadets of the school who are taking part in this mega event with vigor and enthusiasm. Thank you, and thank you all. Jai Hind. May I now request our principal to give a memento to our chief guest and the president of the function. It's just a token of affection and love from the cadets.
want to excel, and I tell them, you want to join civil services, please IAS minimum, you have to think that way, minimum IAS. You want to join the police forces, minimum IPS. So if you are a school of, if you are candidate of this school, that should be your thing. If you want to join the corporate sector, then it has to be at a very senior scale.
Same school, we have been able to create a system where the seniors they take care of the juniors. Now we are all used to be first 10 juniors used to be. We have a cost. Now senior. And discipline is basically we are
just touching their conscience. Just realize, is it right or wrong? You decide. I will only paint two sides to you, right or wrong. Now you decide. Whatever you want to decide, continue. Discipline is.
And in fact, we are for the last 1 year now. Discipline is important last year. There is not
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here, sir. Come here. Leader. I will give you something. Yourself, yeah.
Sir will tell you how to shoot.
Leader, now, I'm calling you and then you are going to find out.
In the morning. लगे रहो We want goal! We want goal! Goal! Exercise!
Hey, leader. Come here again.
We are We want gold! 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 From exercise. What? Throw. We want gold to exercise. Throw. Girl! We want 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 girl! Keep well! Don't! Up! 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 Another! Up! Up! Exercise! Down! Straight! Exercise! Square leg! Exercise! Go! Go! Exercise! We want!
Okay, you talk again.
Up! Up! Exercise! Wake up! Exercise! Square high! Exercise! Don't stick! Exercise! Up! Up! Go! Go! Exercise! Go! Go! Exercise! Exercise! We want!
Jab I want to the casting from Kalam
please. Use here.
Some like
Right here.
We want! Go! 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 Exercise! We want! Go! Exercise! We want! Go!
Go!
We want! Go! Exercise! Go! Exercise! Go! Exercise! Itu salah. Anda